Good evening and welcome to City Pulse. The Strait of Gibraltar is one of the busiest shipping routes in the world, and at certain times of the year, the sky above it becomes a highway. Guided by little more than instinct and memory, millions and millions of birds pass over Gibraltar every year. But why and when and how? Robert Perez is one of several local experts, and he'll be joining us a little later on in the show. But first, a very good evening to Dave, Tina, Heidi, Eric. ¿Cómo está? ¿Qué paso? ¿Cómo estamos? All good?
Four number nines.
Four number
nine.
This is actually your second. This is a bit of a media day for you. You were on Gibraltar today earlier.
Qué pesado, Eric.
Qué pesado.
Pesadísimo.
Está un poquito pesado.
You know, I didn't say it today at lunch because it was a very serious thing. Pero before I left home, you know what my wife, the last thing she said to me was, please don't embarrass me. Please don't embarrass me. Vale?
That's a pep talk.
Yeah.
And did you?
I don't know. I haven't asked that.
My husband says that before I leave the house.
There you go.
Every day.
Every day.
Don't embarrass me.
Just
Can't
fills
promise
you with
anything.
confidence.
Can't promise anything.
I will try my best.
I'm not sure.
Jokes aside, tell us the news for anybody that perhaps wasn't watching Gibraltar today earlier.
Well, no, it's news. I mean, I didn't come up with a press release now that GBC contacted me because I put up, I've resigned from the Gibraltar Disability Council. It's a committee that encompasses different people from different organizations working together with the Minister of Disability and the SNDO department. And we've been doing this for over 2 years. And personally, I found that I joined this committee because I thought that I was able to, I would be able to encourage things to happen quicker and lots of things to happen. No, Kathy says que no, but I feel I failed. No, I feel like I failed in my mission, and I haven't been able to press governments to move quicker. They're working at their own time frame. And I had a meeting with the minister last week and a couple of members of the council, and I said, look, yo no puedo, ma. There are lots of things that have been happening. I've been saying this in this show a few weeks ago. There are places that have come opened and been inaccessible in town, in the beginning of Main Street, in Varubeg, in Bilasita Singh. And in this day and age, this should not happen. And that's one of the reasons, no? The delay in legislation, a delay in implementing a 2017 Disability Act. Time in 2026, that's 9 years.
Yeah.
Okay, and it's wrong.
Sections 13 and 14, no, specifically. So
That's correct.
just sort of elaborate on.
Yeah, basically to summarize those two sections, it's about existing premises that will bring the whole of the community together. It means that people like myself will be able to enjoy the same things that you all enjoy and take for granted. I mean, whenever I go out for a meal with friends, with my family or whatever, I've got to think twice about where I'm going because the place might not be accessible, the toilet might not be accessible, parking, mucha cosa, no?
It is the sort of thing that we take for granted.
You all
We
take
take
for
for
granted.
granted.
Your viewers,
So
the
true.
viewers take this for granted. Right?
So true.
And I try to tell everybody, and I think I've said it a million times, it's not about ramps, it's not about lifts. It's about the way that the community brings in and sees a community of disabled people, and in one word, inclusion, because that is the word,
Yes.
inclusion. We're all reasonable people, and places that are not able to be made accessible will not be made accessible. We all understand that. We all understand that, ¿vale? But the places that can be, should be, and have to be. It's very, very simple. Very, very simple. And I cannot understand the delay of 9 years. I was told in 2023 by the last Minister Sacramento, that this will be done before the end of that parliament. It didn't happen. There was an election. I don't know whether that had anything to do with it or not, but it didn't happen. And now 3 years on, Minister Santos, a few weeks ago in Parliament, answering a question from the opposition, said, before the end of this Parliament, the same thing that I was told 3 years ago. But obviously, the government have apparently reacted to my interview.
Yeah, and a reminder that City Pulse is now on WhatsApp, so if you'd like to get in touch and share your views, don't hesitate. So, yes, the government has this afternoon responded saying that Section 14 specifically is coming into effect within the next few months.
That's the first time I've heard a date, which is absolutely fantastic. I'm really, really happy. It's fantastic. I don't know why 2 months, but I mean, I'm happy.
They put it down. The reason they gave, and I am paraphrasing slightly, is that the lawyers who would have been involved have been involved with having to get the relevant lawyers available to dot the I's and cross the T's.
Okay, look, I don't want to start an argument, but it's 9 years.
Yeah.
It's 9 years.
Yeah.
And I love this, and I'm really thankful for that. I'm really, really thankful for that. And it's about time. Te digo la verdad, it is about time. Vale? They've had 9 years to plan this.
Muchos años.
And coincidence que the day that's, not the day I resigned late last week, but the day I come public, thankfully they've come up with a date, which is brilliant. Well done. Okay, well done. And ya está, vamos a seguir para adelante y punto. What I can say is, for clarity, I'm still a member of SNAG, very proud of being a member of SNAG. SNAG will continue working with Minister Santos, Minister Arias, Minister Cortés, who are the three main education, health, care agency, and obviously disability. We will carry on. Nothing has changed. It's just that, unfortunately, just the last thing I'd like to say is, unfortunately, there were some comments made on the Disability Day on the 3rd of December in a conference last year by a member of the council saying that legislation is not important. And all we need is common sense.
Legislation is not important. All we need is common sense.
And to be fair, I mean...
Bananas, really.
Yeah.
What is common sense? Vamos a empezar por ahí. What is common sense?
yeah.
What's common sense to you
Might
is
not
definitely
be,
not
yeah.
be
Yeah.
for you. It's not number one. And number two, it's the other way around. You need to legislate to normalize all these things.
Claro.
But it's normalize all these things.
Yeah.
And then the common sense will kick in.
Yeah.
So was that a bit of a sort of a trigger?
That was my trigger, to be perfectly honest.
Yeah.
The delays y todo, I've been fighting and fighting and fighting. No solamente yo, there's a lot of people in the community and associations that have been fighting and fighting and fighting, and I've been putting up with it. But this was just the last. I personally cannot be part of a body that sends that message out to people like myself.
Yeah.
No puede ser. It cannot happen. I want to completely dissociate myself from that, completely disassociate myself from that comment, because that's not me, no puede ser, and that's it. We move on, y punto. And I hope that the council members think about this, and the minister thinks about this, and things are put right, y punto.
Okay. We'll keep fighting the good fight. Erin
I will.
remains a
I
part
will. I will.
of SNAG.
Thank you.
Just to clear up any
Yeah.
doubts.
Yeah.
What about the demolition works that have begun? They began last week down at the frontier.
Yeah.
Dave, what have you made of it? Change continues.
Change continues, you know. I think now we're really seeing some changes at the border. On the Spanish side, están poniendo some temporary structures there as well. And I realised even today they've got rid of the hut that was beside customs as you went through. But I think they put cars in, I guess. I don't know. That's not there anymore.
That's gone, and the Bureau de Change as well.
Yeah.
Bureau, see, the bureau's gone.
The Bureau de Change gone, yeah.
Yeah.
Pero the demarcation line se queda, ¿no?
Creo que sí, I'm curious
the
about maybe.
demarcation line, I think that's staying.
Yo creo que sí, I think so, no? In terms of what they do. But yo quiero saber what they're going to do with the actual, maybe they've talked about it, I missed it, but what they're actually going to do with the old gate.
I hope we
That's
keep
a
it.
piece of
Hopefully it's a
heritage,
piece of
eso.
our heritage and our
Eso da un-
history.
una
It's a
pena.
piece of our history.
Pero
yeah.
el gate
Maybe send it to
I mean,
eBay.
the gate is really neglected ahora mismo, so it needs reforming. But I see it and I think, wow, it'd be a shame just to...
I mean, that's a piece of history right
Claro,
there.
just to
They
put it somewhere
can't,
else,
they can't
you know?
just get rid of it full stop, vamos a tirarlo.
Bueno,
no.
Keep
That's
it...
been there for...
Keep it
in all
on.
the
Where do we put it?
videos.
It's massive.
Bueno, we keep it for a while and see how it goes.
In casements.
Sí, verdad.
es verdad, it's true.
The doors and casements.
The doors and
panel
casements were burnt.
Casement
were
doors.
burnt, remember? And we lost that as well.
Pero sí, it's so the demolition and
Eso hace
hopefully
mucho tiempo.
restoration
It's gonna
of certain things también.
Yeah,
Porque
yeah,
that
yeah,
gate
yeah.
is part of our
And just on the
identity,
frontier, this is just reportedly that new instructions have been given to Spanish police to temporarily exempt green ID card holders from the entry-exit system at the frontier as
read
well.
that.
Yeah.
Gonke, July the 15th, the implementation date for now.
Bueno.
For now.
For now, for now.
Everything
For
for
now.
now. Everything for now. By the way, thank you to a couple of you who've been in touch just on Eric. Someone saying that they applaud you. Well done for fighting for so long. This must have been the straw that broke the camel's back.
There you go.
You absolutely did not fail. And also Derek wanting to wish you, say thank you for all your hard work as well.
Thanks, Derek.
And this from Gigi, having just had bilateral full knee replacement, I now truly understand how important lifts, ramps, handrails, and accessible spaces are.
Yeah.
When you suddenly rely on them for everyday outing, you see things very differently.
Claro.
I really sympathize with Eric and with anyone living with mobility challenges who depend on these essential facilities every day. Accessibility is not a luxury, it is a necessity. Thanks for
It is.
getting in
100%.
touch, Gigi, and to everybody else who's contacted us on email or WhatsApp. Should we talk traffic? I feel like we could just talk traffic until midnight. We won't. Don't worry, we won't. But there has been some developments regarding new traffic measures.
Yeah.
Just wanted to get your thoughts.
Traffic
Amazing.
Inspector Heidi.
Sí, claro. Traffic inspector.
Go and tell
Okay,
us,
so
Philip.
let's start with Cathedral Square. This is the children's park that we're seeing,
Yep.
and so what
Aye, aye.
will soon be the case is that bike parking there, which accommodates 36 motorbikes, will essentially the park is becoming a roundabout, as I understand it.
Yeah, we're going to be able to go
go
round it
round
as
the
we
park.
used
Yeah.
to.
Like we
that's
used
how
to,
it used to
very
be,
see.
yeah.
Claro.
Yeah,
Of course
Can't go
we
round
used
the
to
other
do
side.
I'm
it.
a 90s kid, you know.
I mean, back in the day, we used to be
Sí.
able to go round it.
Yeah.
Yeah, they started closing things off. They put parking,
Yeah.
which is
They
really,
put
really, really needed. And in
The
Pueblo,
motorbike
pa
parking,
poner la
yeah,
moto.
very needed.
Pero they used to be able to go round
Yes.
it.
Round the park.
Yeah,
one-
instead they changed
we
the
always
direction.
used to do
And
it.
so what was the logic then? If was it just to provide more parking?
I think so. I don't know.
Boy,
I
they
wasn't.
say. I
I'm
can't
not
remember
a
that
traffic
way back.
minister, tampoco.
Lollipop
But
lady.
if I was,
But I remember
lollipop lady.
on the bike it was a big win because if you've got somewhere on the bike to
Claro.
park it, que vamos, no hay ningún
Like a
Can
bike
I-
parking in
Cada
Gibraltar
vez
is
menos.
horrendous.
It's
Yeah.
less parking.
But they must have had some stats, no,
But why
for
they
the
do it?
change back now, because
well, no, that's what I'm. That's
if you think about it,
That's what you're
you move
asking.
100 meters, 200 meters down to John Mack and turn left again and go back into Flying Hall.
it was
No, you need
causing a lot of congestion. They say,
Yeah.
and this is
Yes.
Yeah.
hopefully to ease
To ease the traffic, that's-
congestion.
I
It
think
just
that's-
obviously it's the give and take. No, now it means that there are 36 bikes potentially with nowhere to
With
park.
no parking.
They do say that they're to provide another space for,
See, because
for
I think they're
parking
saying that they've
elsewhere.
Where?
3 car parks, 3 spaces have been lost, no, to accommodate the bikes now. I think that's what I read. Conque, obviously, there va a haver parkings for bikes, but I think it makes sense to have that.
It makes
Sí,
sense.
claro, as it
yeah.
was
Oh, we
before.
used to have it all the time. I remember. Perfectly.
I remember a couple of one of the other measures being implemented soon, and I remember we had Kenneth on a month, maybe 6 weeks ago, and he was quite passionate about the MOT,
Ah, the MOT,
situation.
see.
and so I wonder if they've been listening. But MOT extensions are to be covered by law as long as the bookings are made before roadworthiness expires.
Vale.
Yeah, I
That-
remember
that would
that
make
program.
sense too,
Yeah.
I think. No,
Remember
thoughts?
him.
Makes sense.
Yeah,
Absolutely makes sense.
yeah.
Because sometimes you can't get an appointment. So I think it's great.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
Or claro, you again, would be okay here, but it's the classic case that you book your MOT and we'll see you in 2 or 3 months kind of thing.
Yeah.
There was
course.
one today.
Claro.
Today, somebody was complaining on Speak Freely. They obviously their MOT is about to expire. They applied online mid-July.
Mid-July. Yeah.
For the appointment. Ahora,
So then now they're saying that que si tiene, so from July you can still use your car.
If
But
you
not
make
in
your
Spain.
appointment before it
In
expires.
Spain, you can't
but
use
not
it in Spain.
Vale, not in Spain.
no.
It's got to be here.
It's got to be here.
Yeah.
You provide, if you get stopped or whatever, you provide proof that you have actually booked
Yeah.
your MOT. Está bien, pero you can't drive in Spain with an
Without,
expired
with a license.
with an expired MOT, and they won't take the proof No, pero que está
No, they
booked.
won't take the proof.
Tengo que llevarlo mid-July. Aquí está el proof de que está pagado y eso. No, that won't work in Spain.
Do you guys, when you go to restaurants and stuff, is it ever so good or so bad, your experience, that you would leave a review online?
No.
I've never left a
Never.
review on.
A mí no se me ocurre.
See, if you're going to a new place, they ask you, no, and you've had a good meal. I usually more of a fan of a good review than a bad review.
I think they're asking you more
Sí,
now.
yo creo que...
They're asking you more now.
No,
No,
I
Yeah.
haven't.
It's happened to me.
Just because soon bus stops and taxi ranks will have QR codes on them
Right, wow.
to review your experience for public
mira.
feedback and stuff.
That would be
So
good.
again, I quite like the idea. Again, good or bad,
Or
the
bad.
experience. I suppose everyone's
Unfortunately,
had.
it comes from like, you know, now when you're looking for a restaurant, you know, there's different apps or whatever, but the Google rating really matters, no? So
Sí,
the
it does.
visibility, so that's why you go now and they're like, tap the little thing to give them a review. So it's really important for small businesses to have the review.
Yeah.
Claro, yeah, it depends on so we're saying that taxis here will now be able to be reviewed by people.
I don't know about the specific taxi drivers.
The service in
but
general,
At the taxi
okay.
rank,
The rank, right.
there's a QR code and you'll be able to
Oh.
obviously scan it.
Ah, I know.
No, because that's always the danger,
know,
no?
that's
When
good.
you hablo con cliente and they go, well,
I think it's good.
we should get reviews, and they're always a bit... If we open up reviews, you're also opening yourself to negative. But
Yeah,
hopefully,
yeah.
if you get enough good ones...
But I think all for the greater good, no? As they say.
I spoke to somebody today, I think it was today, and they didn't like the black cab.
I didn't.
Ah, the,
No.
Didn't,
the
¿por qué?
taxi, no? The
See,
black
no, a
taxi,
friend
the
of mine, he said, I went into the black cab, and then the seat was down there. He said, right at the back, and the taxi driver was right at the front. He said, and I felt really isolated. He said, I like going in the taxi and chatting to the taxi driver. This is what she said to me. And she said, estaba como isolated completely in this back seat, and then I couldn't open the
como que
door
isolated,
because I
what-
couldn't reach the door. Yo qué sé, she went on
Okay,
about the
tampoco
door.
it's
That
not
the
a
door.
limousine, no?
She said that the door opened. I don't know, I haven't been yet. That the door opened on both sides or algo.
que have it
Digo, I don't know, I haven't been yet on one of them. Anyway, she wasn't happy with the black cab. She didn't like it.
Claro,
Just a
hay
li-
gente pa'
you know,
todo.
she just
Hay
told me
gente pa'
today.
I'm still getting used to the black cabs. Like one drove past me the other day. I was like, "What's that doing?" Oh yeah,
See?
it's true. We've got black cabs now.
Oh, there's only 10 of them.
yeah. Here are the QR codes, by the way. Those are the ones to look out for. Bus stops and taxi ranks too. So, shall we talk environment? Let's talk environment.
If you want to.
Speaking of traffic and transport, air pollution was on the mind last week. Loads happened last week, and it was kind of like a who smelt it dealt it kind of thing. But Jib was saying
was
actually
that
it was
The east side.
it was coming.
It's coming from our neighbours.
Yeah.
It smelled really strongly, eh?
I didn't, la verdad, I didn't smell
was
it, but
inside
I
my
saw
house.
people from Beachview, from Hassan.
Young Westview.
Pero es muy
¿Al
raro
lado tuyo?
que llegue
Yo lo
tan
olía,
fácil.
I heard- I could smell it
into
inside my
town.
house.
Yo no lo olí.
Porque yo qué sé, if you're walking past like por ahí de Roski and around the airport, a veces te viene un olor.
El whiff.
It's like a whiff de refinería or a bit like sulfury.
Pero that's de toda la vida.
Pero eso
No,
de ahí,
pero this
And
is
it depends
different.
on the
This was
wind.
different.
This
It
was
smelled-
different.
This was
right
different.
in town.
Smelt of
Right.
gas. It was
Yeah, that-
inside
yeah.
the house.
Sí.
Yeah,
I started looking around my house.
Qué miedo.
Digo, no puede ser
No,
aquí.
I didn't.
And then
Yo
I
fui a
heard
Montague
people on the
Gardens.
radio saying that there was a smell.
I'm assuming that somebody is looking into this and a report will come up, no?
One of the-
where it came from.
As we understand,
what it
the
was,
Department
eh?
of the Environment have said that actually, you know, the everything in port was running normally. There was no extra emissions that day, and so it must have been coming
It was
from
very weird.
Sí,
our smelly neighbours.
Neighborhoods from
It
our...
could have
Bueno,
been one of the
Oh,
cruise
there's the
ships.
headline.
Could have been one
No,
of the
porque-
cruise
no,
ships
porque
taking
venían allí.
in fuel. Pero cruise ship está allí.
Es que se está usando un poco. You never remind of this like
take fuel
this,
in
the smell this
más
time.
cerca.
Pero se está usando the environment for a lot
Yeah.
of politic
Sí.
toing and froing, no? Entre Verdemar and the development
I
on the east
know.
side, and lots of things they're saying about
Yeah.
how we're
Yes.
treating the environment. Then this smell comes, conveniently it's them. We don't know what it is, but it's concerning, no? If for a really
Yeah.
strong smell and you've got
was
headaches,
very
people
strong.
reported headaches
Yes.
that they were having, y
Yeah.
todo. So it'd be good to see if there was a report. But if we're saying that it's nothing to do with us and it's Spain, they're not likely to either be proactive about it.
Or to
no?
say
Or
anything,
we
yes,
don't
it
seem
was
to be
us.
approaching it very neighbourly at the moment. È un poco así, ¿no? Un poquito que sí.
Speaking of which,
Yeah.
the Guardian
Yes.
wrote a piece
Yes.
last week.
Yep.
Dave, I want to get your thoughts on this. We can show you Gibraltar dumping all of its raw sewage into Mediterranean, which is a pretty damning headline. And, well, as the pictures would suggest, a headline difficult to deny.
Sí, verdad. I think it's... Mira, ahí está.
Ahí
Look
está,
at that, the plume of...
The first thing that came to mind was marine environment. Pero después I was told the Kimberley doesn't really affect. No?
I don't know, yo qué sé. I
Been
think we're
happening
going...
for a long
For a
time.
long time.
This is nothing new.
See, we were talking
We were talking
about
about
it.
it because
también,
I
¿verdad?
was last week. The winds were lovely for birding and photography, so we spent a lot of days in Europa Point, and obviously we are literally on top of that, what you see there, no? And we're all chatting about it because, funny enough, our Griffin vulture was flying over, and it came down, literally there.
See, I read it.
Vale, so we were talking about that, no? One of the guys said, look, human excrement is biodegradable, vale? But it's everything else that's washed
all
in.
the wipes
It's
and all
everything
those-
else.
The
Todos los
plastic and
chemicals
the
y
wires.
eso, claro.
Here, sorry, what we're seeing here is the
Yeah.
proposed
Cooking oil.
plan for
Cooking
the
oil es malísimo.
Malísimo.
new plant in the area of Europa Point. So carry on. Sorry.
No, eso, que it looks horrendous. In fact, we were there, we saw one of these new speedboats bringing tourists and stopping about 20 meters off this horrendous site. And I don't know what the guide was
guide
telling
was
me.
saying,
But
no?
anyway, no sé.
Pero
whatever
que
it
no
was.
están, they're not in Capri, ¿no? En plan, porque lo bonito que Europa Point, with all the coves and natural
Yes,
caves.
yes.
Beautiful.
And we're putting out, and I think if it was just excrement and people, then you think, mira, how lovely they were giving this to the Mediterranean Sea. But the reality is, we're not.
It's
It's,
not just-
wipes,
The
it's
wipes, the
chemicals,
plastic.
all the kitchen waste. And I feel it's another one of those issues that we know it's happening. Llevamos años knowing that it's happening.
Año.
There's plans saying that things are happening and nothing seems to be doing. So when you see a headline like that, you go, it's a bit embarrassing because we know
It is embarrassing,
It feels
yeah.
like we should be doing something a bit more proactively to do this rather than say, look, plans are coming, there's something, I don't know what the delays
Well,
are.
the
I'm sure
plans
they're...
apparently are 15 million
Pero llevamos
plans,
año y
no,
año y
coming in.
año. This isn't something
It's
new.
a long time.
So when we're going back to the point about us trying to be neighbourly or, Spain already, Verde Mar or wherever
Yeah,
are going
on top
about
of us.
on lots of other things and they're looking at everything we're doing, we're giving them kind of fodder there. You know?
Literally.
Yes, fodder.
Literally, without saying the word.
But, on the other side, if you think of like everything that goes out to the natural environment, la sardina that we're going to eat in the summer, all of that is coming
We
out
don't
from
want to
there.
know.
Big.
But mira, the UK has a horrendous problem with the rivers,
Yeah.
the pollution y todo. And tú sabes, todo eso es terrible, man. Absolutely.
And last
terrible.
week,
complicado, pero...
when they tested the waters, salió de que Western Beach ya hacía
Was
años,
clearer than ever.
clearer than ever.
Clearer than ever, they said.
Heidi, about 10 minutes ago, you said you never leave reviews. We've had a certain Kevin getting in touch.
And
Hi, Kevin says,
Marido.
yes, I do leave reviews, and my wife, Heidi, makes me do it. That's why she has never written a review herself.
you get him to do the review.
Ahorita,
El pobre.
ahorita.
But
makes
no,
Kevin
pero no
makes
when
time
we
for
go
the Kevin
abroad.
Heidi.
Also.
Aquí sí. Aquí, obviously. Pero, digo, don't embarrass me, pero he's embarrassing me.
Te cogió, te
Me cogió.
Te cogió bien.
Sí, no, aquí sí. He's got the, ¿cómo se llama el app? De TripAdvisor. That's the one.
TripAdvisor,
En
yeah.
TripAdvisor sí. But abroad, yo no me acuerdo de abroad de estar dando reviews.
I'm with Kevin.
Sí, claro.
Yeah, and a very good evening to Mike as well. Thanks for getting in touch, Mike, who says, lo del sewage into the city es una vergüenza in this day and age. So, strong words
I agree, Mike.
Tienes razón.
from Mike.
Totally.
A ver.
So, staying with the environment, back on land now. This was interesting. So, the government issued a press release just today, actually, that they are to take action against unauthorized advertising banners. So, you'll have noticed that at the south end of Queensway by the Anchor roundabout, just on your way into Morrison's supermarket as well, there's sort of 3 or 4 locations around Gibraltar where you see these advertising banners for like events and stuff. Apparently, some of those have to go through the DPC.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Up to the
Permission.
town. there's a form that you fill in, and you have to kind of see what size the banner is, what it's going to be
Yeah.
for, where it goes. So that's all kind of there.
Yeah.
The issue is that people are not.
Well, with no specifics, it turns out that a lot of people are just sort of Wild Westing it and going for it, and so they're clamping down on that.
Outside the naval base. In a
I was
barrier
found
standing.
a lot advertising goes up very quickly for events. But it take forever to come
To
down.
take it
Come
down?
down, yes.
It takes forever
don't
to
take
come
The
it
other
down.
day I was like,
No quitan
Seriously,
nada.
months and
That
months.
happened
happened
last year,
a
por lo
month ago,
menos.
yeah.
That's what I find.
yeah.
It's true,
Crazy.
it's true.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
I keep looking at these banners thinking, oh, I'm definitely going to go to that.
Yeah, that happened
Okay,
3 months
well,
ago.
That's going to be amazing.
Tickets again? No.
Six months
it
ago.
again.
6 months ago.
On Friday, again, a busy week last week, but the King's Baton relay is now in Gibraltar. This is big. So the Commonwealth Games, 2026 Commonwealth Games, take place in July in Glasgow. Glasgow, the hosts, one of the big traditions
Really nice.
of the Games is the King's Baton relay. The baton landed on the Rock on Friday and was unveiled at the Mayor's Parlour that evening. It's absolutely beautiful, and different this year for the first time ever is that each Commonwealth nation has been given the chance to design their own personalized baton as opposed to the same baton
own
being
logo,
passed
no?
through the Commonwealth, all 72
Yeah.
countries. And so there's the local artist who designed ours with a mask on. So Jup goes by the name Jup. So yeah, not long to go now until the Commonwealth Games. And speaking of sports, Special Olympics have been away recently, haven't they, Heidi? Done very well.
Yes, they've done really well. My friend Marvin and Dorian,
Yes.
the brothers, fueron a
Liechtenstein.
Liechtenstein.
Lovely boys.
Sí, and they bronze.
They won
They
bronze.
won bronze. Mira los dos ahí.
And they wanted to come out tonight on telly, and there they are.
Digo, ahí está. They were interviewed as well
And they're
in the
thrilled.
stadium. Y digo, súper contentos los dos.
Yeah, well done to Marvin and Dorian and the rest of the squad as well. Miguel Rubio, Francis Avellano, Julian de las Heras, and Freddie Barker as well, back from Liechtenstein in the Small Nations Bocce tournament. An impressive haul of medals. So well done there. We're talking bird migration soon with one of many local experts, Robert Perez. Looking forward to that. But having spoken to you and spoken to him, there's a very expert group for such a small place as Gibraltar.
Sí,
There's loads of people who really
Very
know
knowledgeable.
their stuff.
Very, very knowledgeable. I've only been in photographing birds for the last couple of years. Right?
What sort of birds, oye?
All the migratory birds, raptors,
Ah,
that come through. And small birds as well. Feathered kinds. I've been in very, very bad mind. No te cogí. Yeah, I lost my train of thought. Right?
te tiré.
Yes, and they're very knowledgeable. And I've met all these wonderful people because I've been there. And Eric, ven pa' acá, this is better sports. Mañana, and we all get together. We're all shooting at these birds, and the knowledge is absolutely amazing.
Sí, ¿no?
Paul, ¿esto qué es? Robert, ¿eso qué es lo que es? Pues yo soy...
Qué interesante, ¿eh?
por abajo, ¿no? Y ya ellos dicen, esto es un butetico, esto es un short throat, esto es un whatever, gannet, esto es... And it's amazing, absolutely amazing.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah. Staying in the sky, and we got so we tend to receive your thoughts via email and now WhatsApp. Every now and then, someone goes a little old school, goes a little rogue, and we receive a letter in the post.
Oh, wow.
Which I'm a massive fan of. And it
Funny.
was so nice just to, I've lost it now, but
How nice.
it was so nice just to open an envelope.
You've lost the letter.
Old school. No, I've got the letter. I've lost the empty envelope.
Oh, vale. Ay, how nice.
Which
Ransom
James won't mind, I hope. But he says, I wonder what your panel thinks about the idea of a butterfly house on the Upper Rock. In my opinion, a much better location would have been the Alameda Gardens, not only because it would be less likely to be vandalized as the gardens are locked at night, but the butterfly house would be more accessible to school children without the need to provide transport, which I think is a good point made by James, and thanks for getting in touch. But these are what you're seeing now. These are the proposed plans for the Upper Rock Butterfly Park.
Love it.
Fantástico, eh?
Me encanta.
Absolutely amazing.
It's amazing.
As long as they're accessible.
If it's going to look like that, it's amazing. something different.
Sí.
There's a butterfly park nearby Spain. I haven't invented that, have I? Por ahí de Castilla?
No
Sí,
sé,
ha habido
I've
uno.
never-
Yo no me acuerdo, pero hay, sí, somewhere.
Benalmádena as well.
Benalmádena. I've been with
Sí,
my
no?
children when they were small.
Yeah.
I've
That's
been
the
in
one.
one in the London
And it's a
Zoo.
great day out, especially for the kids,
En
yes?
Benalmádena sí me acuerdo, yeah.
Que está muy bonito.
Muy bonito.
Been to the one in London Zoo. You got in a chiquitito,
And
no? Pero
relaxing
it's
as well.
Very-
interesting.
Yeah,
Very interesting.
And that will bring in tourists también.
for sure.
And no solamente
algo.
bring in, sino que they'll give tourists something else to do
Yeah.
Sí.
here.
Yeah.
The other day you didn't need a butterfly park up the rock because there were butterflies
Everywhere, sí.
everywhere,
Qué bonito.
pero hundreds of them. It was absolutely amazing,
A mí
beautiful.
me fascina the designs,
Everywhere.
the colors. Me fascina.
Everywhere. Estaba the monarch butterfly and then a lot of yellow ones, those yellow and white ones. Es precioso estaba.
Speaking of up the rock, I mean, we see plenty of butterflies and obviously plenty of macaques too. There was the unfortunate international news of
Yeah.
the mud-eating macaques, and
Yes.
again, slightly, I mean, not great press for Gibraltar PLC.
We're not doing very well lately, are we?
But a bit of good news is that extra personnel are to be deployed so as to, well, hopefully
God.
enforce.
Yeah. I think that's
the-
needed.
Maybe somebody heard you say that.
Somebody, they must have heard me, of course, when I said there was no enforcement.
Yeah.
Pero
the
tú crees
illegal
what
feeding.
I think what would be good también es como un feeding station. When you go to the zoo de Castellao or when you go to
They have
Selvo.
feeding stations.
No, as in feeding station, you buy. Tú pagas €1, €2
See,
and
but
you
they
buy.
can't,
Yeah.
they can't do that.
You
yeah.
can't do that.
Why?
Why
I-
not?
Well, not maybe they could, but
Because
these
humans,
animals
they
are-
can't eat.
Eh?
Too dangerous?
It's probably dangerous.
I don't know.
Probably dangerous.
I mean,
Eso te lo ves.
I haven't
en un
thought
pote
about
así,
it.
te lo
it's
ve un
just
mono,
something-
te lo...
Yo no lo veo.
Well, no, actually, you mentioned that a few days ago. I went for a walk up the rock to do
Sí.
the med steps. I had my headphones on, and I was quite happily eating my Pink Lady apple.
Anda.
That's it, you
Other
went wrong.
apples also available.
Y ya
Right? But
estaban
I
mono.
enjoy Pink Lady apples.
Staring at you.
And there I was walking up the hill, and I feel a brush on the bottom of my leg.
Me entra
And
algo.
I looked down,
And it was a
and
man.
there was a fully
an
grown
ape.
macaque
Claro.
sat right in front of me, staring at my apple.
Claro, claro.
Y te sacó
He
los
mugged
dientes.
I'd run a mile, eh?
If it's
mugged me.
me, I'll attack
He
you.
actually, yeah.
He mugged me.
took
Claro,
you, yeah.
And he took it
Or
off
did
you.
you throw it at
Well,
him and
not
run?
physically. I
So here you go.
really
let it
panicked
go?
and
Here you go,
just
sorry.
Say the
Let it
truth.
go.
Say the truth.
Give me
Did you
headphones, no?
throw the apple and run?
El morsa. Toma, toma, toma.
Tira todo.
Tira la manzana. But I, for one, I'm very happy with what they've arranged to have the deployment of
Claro,
extra
of extra
personnel.
personnel.
I hope it'll work, and and let's see what happens. I'm going to keep my eye out because obviously I'll be around there, and I will see who are the people that have
You
been.
update us. You keep
I
us
will
updated.
update you. Yeah, no, because we finish next week. We have to wait till October now.
Ay, no me lo...
Make it
no lo puedo.
worth the wait. We want that update. Time for a quick break. A little birdie told me we'll be joined by Robert Perez when we return. Don't go away.
Little birdie.
Welcome back to City Pulse. Now, there is no better place in Western Europe to see huge numbers of soaring birds on migration than the Strait of Gibraltar, our rock, a crucial landmark for birds migrating to and from Europe and Africa. Joining us now to help dig a little deeper or soar a little higher is Robert Perez, one of several local bird experts. ¿Cómo estamos?
I'm really bien, thank you.
First things first, how was Zaragoza, man?
Zaragoza was really good.
¿Qué?
Really, really good. Thoroughly enjoyed it. People really enjoyed it.
A
It was a really
sellout.
good night. Sellout, complete. I mean, I think it was one of the first sellouts or quickest sellouts we had in the band. So yeah, it was fantastic. Really enjoyed it.
We've got some footage actually of you guys
Serio?
on stage.
See?
Where are you guys? Where are you?
Mira, mira, mira. Chulo.
It was really good, de verdad. Una buena noche. I mean, they have all been really, really good. Eh? Madrid was spectacular as well.
Por ti, a personal favorite.
Por ti, esa es...
See, we've had a lot of fun. de verdad que sí.
Which is the hardest one to play? Well, you're a bass guitarist, no?
Yes. And,
Which is the hardest one to play?
I think there's two, or at least the one that I need to really concentrate for whatever reason is Desaparecida. I don't know what it is about it, because it's not difficult, but it's just, I've got to concentrate a bit more.
Yeah?
But yeah, I mean, the thing is, once you play them a lot, it's like, you know, it comes very natural to you. You know, we don't even practice from week to week. We just play in concerts. So,
Yeah.
It's, you know, it comes
But no,
quite
enough
natural.
about music. You're here to talk about birds, Robert.
Bird watching. Y del Moreno también.
Bueno, pero lo de expert tampoco, ¿no? I mean, soy más aficionado.
Was that right? Okay, bird enthusiast.
Eso.
¿no? Vale, vale.
Sounds
We
better.
were saying, Heidi, before the show that these two are looking very tanned.
I'm jealous.
Yeah.
Because
We
this
need to get
time...
more birding.
Sí.
Because they're looking up all the time.
¿Tú le vas a decir por qué?
¿Por qué? Because we spend the whole day looking
They're
up.
looking up at the sun.
I'm gonna
at
do
the
that.
sky.
Yeah,
El
yeah.
cuello, ¿no? El cuello más...
Arriba al monte.
El cuello tiene que darle, ¿no?
It gets to a point where you've got to be careful. No? You go home and the wife's like, ¿tú te has visto al espejo? You know? Y te mira y you're like, my God, you know, I'm going to illuminate the room tonight. You know?
You're using protection, no?
Bueno,
Some protection.
He said
sorry.
yes. He
I'll
said
be very
yes.
honest.
I asked him before.
I
He said
certainly
yes.
got told off at home when I went, you know, yeah, don't put any protection.
Claro.
Se te olvida, es que you don't realize.
I'll be home in an hour. 7 hours later, ¿a dónde está?
Is it one of those
hobbies?
one of those hobbies that are just so immersive that 1 hour quickly
Correct.
turns into
Seriously,
6 or 7? No?
Absolutely.
It's very addictive. To be honest.
We'll get into that because that's an interesting one. But just start off nice and simple, a really obvious question, but why, Robert, do birds migrate?
But in reality, birds migrate because they need to find a better place to feed and to nest and to breed. So what happens is when spring comes along, usually it's spring, birds will move from Africa into Europe because the chances of breeding are bigger. So there will be more food in abundance and so on. So that's why they move into Europe.
So it's
Basically,
a
in a
northern
nut-
to southern hemisphere
That's
kind
right.
of thing.
And then they will go
Gibraltar
back.
close enough to the equator that we see so much of the...
This is basically it. You know, the chances of them breeding in Europe will be bigger at that point because of the abundance of food, flies, mosquitoes, you name it, at that given point in time. So they'll move up into Europe for that.
I sent a message to the museum's Clive Finlayson, whose PhD, you explained,
Yeah.
is in ornithology, no?
That's correct, yes.
And so, in theory, no one knows more than him. I said, Clive, roughly how many birds pass through Gibraltar every year? He said, tough to put a finger on it, but
Yes.
tens of millions.
That's right.
Wow.
Really? That many?
Mind-blowing.
Wow.
Remember, we say that these birds pass through Gibraltar, and they do, but it's a wider migration. You're talking about Gibraltar towards Conil area, Tarifa, Conil,
Yeah.
Portugal, and then the other way as well. They'll come in through Malaga, depending on the winds. I mean, the bird migration is very much what winds on the day. If it's easterly winds, you'll get a lot more passerines, which are the songbirds, the little birds. They usually come in through the Mediterranean and pushed over this side because of the winds. If it's a westerly, then it's probably be better for raptor migration. You know, the birds will be pushed this way as they come in from Jebel Musa, just in opposite in Africa,
And
or Morocco.
the reason bird migration is topical now, and we bring you in this evening, is because spring into summer is a particularly busy time of year, no?
This is it. We've got two main migrations, which are spring migration, which is usually, if you're talking about raptors and small birds, it's usually end of February, beginning of March, and it goes till the end of May, you know, June. The birds that come in June will not breed, though. They'll just, like Clive says, they come in for the ride or they come in for the experience. The ones that breed will come in earlier. And for example, the short-toed eagles come in at round about beginning of March. and they come through early, and it's usually the adults to find the breeding, to go to the breeding places to get there first, you know, and so on. So it's amazing. It's an amazing spectacle.
Fascinating, fascinating.
Tell us about some of these photos that you shared with us, Eric,
Qué
because
bonito.
See.
I'm not just saying this because you're in front of me, but those are some amazing photos.
Well, no, it's because of these guys. Because I'm new to all this, and talking to Robert, Paul, el otro Paul, all the guys that go there, they tell you, look, these are the winds. Mañana vas aquí, a mejor, el jueves, mejor. And then when we're there, what were you telling me the other day in the morning? Tranquilo, quédate aquí, que today hay tiempo. True. In the afternoon, most of the photos I've shared with you happened that day in the afternoon. It's just a question of patience.
Okay, so what are we seeing? Because this is
honey buzzards.
pretty spectacular.
Those are honey buzzards.
Yep.
And
Honey buzzards.
a big, well, Robert can tell you better.
Pero-
There's a big variety. Well, that's a griffin vulture.
That is a griffin vulture being attacked by a seagull, no?
Claro.
Uy, uy, sí, that's a seagull detrás.
Small in
Claro.
size, but not in courage. I mean, what's happening there? They literally attacking an exhausted.
No, basically, this is something we see every year. And what happens is, remember that the gulls that are around the cliffs and around Gibraltar are nesting as well. So they're kind of like protecting their area, you see? So this is what happens. They're protecting the area. They suddenly see this big, massive bird come along, and the first thing they think is, I'm going to push them off my area.
My
no?
territory.
Or my
claro.
territory.
My territory.
And this is basically
But
what
they
we see.
pick and choose as well. They know who to attack.
Son malas.
Porque los black eyes pasan como si nada.
Sí, it depends. I don't know. It's one of those fascinating things as well. Why do they attack some and not the
Not
others?
the others, yeah.
It's just one of those things.
Talk to us about some of the other species of bird that we see pass over Gibraltar. It's
That's right.
pretty diverse.
Yeah, like we said, you get raptor migration, and then you get the passerines, the smaller birds, the songbirds. Like, for example, robins will be here for the winter, and they will go back to migrate back to Germany, or no, actually, they breed just across here in Pelayo, to be honest.
Sí?
But they don't breed in Gibraltar. If you ever see a robin breeding in Gibraltar, let us know.
I was
We'll
going
be
to say,
fascinated.
I don't
I've
remember
never
seeing
seen
a.
Well, no,
No,
there's
you
a
see-
robin
you see-
here.
Aquí
Hombre,
tenemos
tenemos-
uno.
Pero digo, one with a red breast.
To be honest, I mean, Gibraltar's quite small, but we always look, for example, in around about spring or the breeding season to see whether we see robins breeding in Gibraltar. We haven't seen any, or that I can recall. I'm sure maybe people like Clive or Charlie Perez or even John Cortés, Minister Cortés, they maybe they have seen in the past. I certainly haven't, but it's something that we look out for, no? And I ask people, and I say, look, if you see a robin
Let us know.
at a spring, avisa, no? We're dying to see. But aquí just in Huerta Grande, I don't know if you've seen Huerta Grande, it's just across in Pelayo. They breed there. You know, it's fascinating that they're not breeding here. I don't know, it must be a scientific reason why. But there are, many birds that come through Gibraltar, small birds, seabirds as well. They cross through the Strait of Gibraltar and they migrate, they pass through there. Mediterranean gulls, black-headed gulls. and
Yeah, so
many others.
seagulls, I learnt recently, certain seagulls are migratory birds, as in they come from afar.
Yeah.
Claro que sí.
Like,
Seagulls.
I thought seagulls just era like estos son llanitos style.
No, we usually get, in the winter, we get the black-headed gulls here. And they're usually just down by the El Caño, no? Unfortunately.
Where are they coming from?
They come from, they can come up from UK, or, they go up to UK, they come back down from France and so on.
Wow.
It depends. For the winter, they come back to Gibraltar, and then they go back to breed a bit further north. It's amazing. Mediterranean gulls as well. You can see them coming in, coming out, but they don't breed in Gibraltar. Audouin's gull is another one, which hopefully, I think, personally, we will see them breeding in Gibraltar soon. I would think so. I would like to. Cuando hablo con Paul Roca, it's the Rastaman himself.
And,
We-
another local expert.
Fantastical. I've learned a lot from Paul as well.
Incredible.
Amazing. person.
Tenía un
Seasons,
grupo
no?
bueno,
Like,
It's incredible.
Good.
Seasons
Yeah, yeah,
for
yeah, good.
certain.
This is it.
So knowledgeable, they were
Yeah,
incredible.
There's a
incredible.
lot of people who take it up, and then you got people like, for example, Clive and Geraldine Phillinson, Stuart as well is a birder himself, Charlie Perez, Ernest Garcia, who lives in.
¿verdad?
Claro, these people have been
Esa
doing
gente
it.
for
Paul Roca,
years.
They've been por la colina. I mean, we can carry on. These people have been in birding for years. I, for example, I've had like, we want to call it a breaking service in between, where because of my music, obviously, you know, you just can't keep up all the time. You never leave it. For me personally, I did it from the age of about 10 to about 17. And then I stopped, you know, my music took over. Ya no tenía tiempo para ir. I used to do sports. I used to row for Calpe Rowing Club at that point as well, have a hockey. So I couldn't do it all.
Too many things,
But I
yeah.
always knew at some point I was going to pick it up again. And you do. You go with your family on holiday, and you take your binoculars. Si va al campo, te lo llevaba y miraba. It's always there.
Have you ever come across, a lo mejor que you've been bird watching y, uy, ¿eso qué? I've never seen that before.
Claro.
¿Qué pájaro ese?
Claro,
Claro,
rarity.
¿qué pasará? Claro.
That's probably, as a birder, that's what you want to see.
Yeah.
Y man tu pueblo en Gibraltar, ¿no? So we always look out for these rarities coming through.
Claro.
A veces ve un pájaro, for example, que nada más se ha visto o no se ha visto nunca. ¿Tú sabes? Or maybe, for example...
But what, one that might have got lost in migration?
Like, for
or
example,
one that's-
we saw, when was it, about 2 years ago, I think about a year and a half ago, I saw, it is a common gull. I think from records, it had only been seen like twice or 3 times before in the past.
Wow.
Since, I think the records go back to the 1970s, maybe
Wow.
a bit late 60s, I'm not sure. But we had only seen about 2 in the last X amount of years, you know? So I was there one day, I mean, cuando está el tiempo más malo, en winter, te vas al lighthouse en un levante fuerte. Después de 2 o 3 levantes fuertes,
No
tú
veas.
Qué gana,
te vas allí,
Robert.
estás ahí pasando un frío.
Me decís yo.
Frío.
De verdad, pasa un frío tremendo. But you go to these places and you know that you're going to catch something, or at least you get a bigger chance of
Claro.
getting a
Okay.
rarity.
Robert,
Pero
we're
what
trying to
happens-
sell bird watching. Don't give me that.
Pero
don't
I'm
give me the rough
curious.
nights.
No, hombre, we've got
Winter.
Gons has its own observatory there que te puedes contar. Tiene su key, te puede meter ahí.
Yeah, yeah.
You can shelter yourself a little bit.
Yeah.
Pero cuando
Qué
sale,
gana, ¿no?
está ahí con los gemelos,
En un levante, en el lighthouse.
se pasa frío. Tiene que abrigar, seguro. But it's great fun, and
I'm surprised it's not more popular, and it is your enthusiasm rubbing off on us. But I'm surprised it's not a more popular hobby. It should be. It's
It is.
underrated.
It is. There's lots of people like that.
But
there are now.
lots
There are now.
of
I think
people.
there's been. I've got it back about 7 years ago, and I'm loving it. I'm thoroughly enjoying it. And then again, I've mixed it up with a bit of photography, which is what I wanted to do as well. But if you would ask me, are you a photographer or a birder? I would say I'm more of a birder than a photographer. But you know, I like to take pictures of birds as well.
And please explain the difference between a birder and a bird watcher.
Okay, this was on TV recently in a TV program. I think a bird watcher is somebody who would go to his garden or his park and just sit down and see birds feed or drink from a pond or whatever and just watch them from there with your binoculars as well. Or just a birder is somebody who goes to places to see birds. For example, I want to see a lesser kestrel today, so why don't we go to Castella? Let's go with a car and we'll go and see what a lesser kestrel looks
Go
like.
looking for
So
it.
you go
Bit
to
more
different
sort of
Looking for a
places. to see-
specific.
Focused.
That's it. More
Specific
specific
bird.
to go and see.
I think I'm more of
different
a bird watcher.
Yeah?
Yeah, I'm more of a bird watcher.
I
Maybe it might develop into
Claro,
more of a
claro.
birder, but now, you know, just...
For now.
Now, binoculars, wow, okay. Oh, vale.
Soon you'll be off to
Robert.
Castilla, tú verás.
Do that
Can you-
maybe, but ahora bird watcher.
Can you
level
tell us
one.
about the rescues?
See, very important and a great job that
That's
goes on.
why I wanted to bring it up.
I think it was last week we've had a terrible raptor migration. So raptors are birds of prey. It's been terrible because the winds have not been favourable. But then again, we've had a great passerine and songbirds. A lot of people know them as songbirds, but passerines anyway. Have been fantastic because of the Levante winds, and we've had many, many different kind of passerines and really good results and counts up at the Gons ringing. But the last week we've had a lot of the raptors coming through, especially griffon vultures and younger short-toed eagles coming in. And what happens with these birds is that eventually, because they're so tired of coming through, and I always think that these birds are not made to fly over sea. They're made to fly with those big wings over the land with the thermals
Yeah.
and so on. And when they come through, they just fall down in the sea. The gulls obviously don't help. and
Don't
obviously
help,
The
no.
peregrine falcon doesn't help either.
No.
As it looks after its territory, but they fall in the sea. The EPRU unit from the Ministry of the Environment have been fantastic in the last week. I think they saved something like 9 vultures from the sea.
Wow.
That is a lot.
we call them from the land.
we were there.
So we're there. I mean,
Happened last week. We were there, yeah.
It's a team. It's a team.
Claro.
You
We
know,
were there. We saw this big vulture, literally, boom, hitting the wall. Delante del caño, just hitting the sea. Within seconds, we were calling and the speedboat comes around.
Right. So
pick
what's
it
the
up.
Right. Okay. So
See,
then.
there's a number that we've shared amongst the birders, which we call immediately the moment we see one of these birds fall in the sea. And it's the EPRE unit of the Ministry for the Environment.
What should someone do if they see a bird with a ring on its?
I mean, if you see a bird with a ring, the best thing to do is contact GONS, because we want to see where that ring has come from. I mean, we've had hits from Germany and other places. Basically, what is ringing about? Ringing has been now going on for many years, where birds are ringed in different parts of the country to see where they end up. And the ringers will get them in the nets, and you look at them, it's still really good. We still do that at GONS up at the Jews Gate Observatory.
Right.
And there's been a lot of data from when we do ringing up there through years.
You know what birds are like? They're pretty elusive. So if I see a bird there, I'm like, ooh, I'm not going to get my phone out. Mira, Gons. Like,
Sí, no, llama,
just a
puede
quick
llamar.
photo.
See, or take a photo and you let it go. But if you can take a photo of the ring or something like that,
Yeah.
so we know where it's come from.
Yeah.
But if you call, I'm sure, or send an email quickly, I'm sure somebody can, will contact you. But personally, if you find a bird, like many people call me, they find now, especially being breeding season, blackbird, chiquitito, algo así. Best thing is to leave it, near where you found it. Find the bush, find the place, leave it there, and that's it.
Okay,
We had
I
a
came
lost,
across.
lost blackbird today at work.
Claro. Van a
He
haber
was
mucho.
going through the office round
Really?
the floor, animalito, sí,
Animalito.
completely. I was telling them
Outside.
afuera, sí.
Just find a spot where you see where you can drop him off near where you
Yeah,
found it
yeah.
and leave it there.
We just opened all the windows y a ver si se iba. And a couple of hours later, ya we couldn't hear him or see.
Claro.
Y ya
es
se
lo que
había
pasa.
ido.
Yeah.
Animalito, yeah.
In my research for this, I came across an absolutely, I'm easily impressed, but an amazing fact, ¿vale? So this bird is not from this area of the world, I should say. We don't see this bird in Gibraltar,
Anda.
but I couldn't help but share it. So the bar-tailed godwit,
Right, yes.
¿vale?
Anda.
Holds
Okay.
the world record for the longest non-stop flight, so from Alaska to Australia, non-stop. What they do is that they digest their own organs so as to make themselves lighter. So
Wow.
their stomach, they don't need it in migration, and so they digest their own stomach. And then when they arrive in Australia, they just regrow a stomach.
Wow.
Wow.
Like,
Wow.
For summer would be
Go.
great.
No, well, yes. I mean, I didn't know about that, to be honest. I didn't know about that.
Robin
hombre, se
without
aprende.
red breast
Something new
can't
every
figure
Se aprende un montón. But certainly we have seen bar-tailed godwits just across here in Tarifa and Barbate and so on. You get the bar-tailed godwits, which are el primo, which we see quite often here. And these, they might pass through Gibraltar as well at any given point.
But I'm going
'Cause you
to
do get
Google it to
bar-tailed
see what it
godwits
looks
around.
like.
What's it called?
like,
But yes,
Bar-tailed
I mean,
evolutionary
as-
standpoint, Dio, like, how does that even begin to happen?
It's
What's it called?
Needs a must.
But
A bar-tailed godwit.
godwit. I'm going to Google it to see what it looks like.
how do you spell it?
un wader,
God?
it's like a wader.
Wit.
Pico largo.
Godwit. Vale. Oh, sí, yo lo voy a buscar.
Yep. I mean, it's incredible. I mean, for example,
It's interesting.
like we did in that interview you did the other day, the northern wheatear might start migrating in South Africa, near South Africa, and will end up in Alaska,
Wow.
and it will pass through Gibraltar at the same time. We see them, around about in the North Front Cemetery when we go birding there, or Europa Point. We see them around there, and you might, it's quite fascinating to see this
Yeah.
bird. It's traveled the Sahara Desert
Wow.
all the way
Amazing.
through the Sahel, in Africa or the rainforest, and it's ended up in Gibraltar, and it's probably going to end up somewhere up north. It's amazing, and it's mind-bending, really. You
Yeah.
kind of like think, how does this happen? And
All in
these
the
are
name of
things
survival.
these are things that continue going. It's something that, for example, as a birder, I love. And we talk a lot about
This
it.
is what we talk about, yeah. This is what we
People
talk
like
about.
like Paul, Paul Roca. Really experienced chap. He's been doing birding forever, and I've stopped. He hasn't certainly stopped. He's around. He's there in the knowledge that these guys have.
For anybody that might be interested, having watched this and might be interested to get involved, how can they do so? And what are like your favourite sort of locations around Gibraltar to bird watch?
I personally like the Gibraltar, the Europa Foreshore down by the lighthouse.
Sí.
Wow.
That's can be quite a peaceful place. It depends at what time you go. The Europa Point as well. There's North Front Cemetery is a good place for birds. Obviously the Upper Rock as well. Why the North Front Cemetery? It's because you can actually see quite ahead of yourself.
Claro.
The Upper Rock, you get the bushes and the trees and you can't really see much. You probably have to look at the bushes. You know,
The area
stand
by
there.
Jews Gate as well, Robert?
Sorry?
The area by Jews Gate as well?
The area by Jews Gate, certainly for raptor migration. So birds of prey is a good place. Europa Point is a good place for birds and photography for birds as well. And there's always people around, you know. There's always, for example, at the lighthouse, there's always people around, and you can ask, and people will help. You know, us birders will. We get tourists coming up. What are you looking for? You know,
Claro.
they see us with these massive cameras and binoculars. You know, they just stare out and they,
¿Qué tan
what are you
ciega la
looking for?
gente?
Yeah, yeah,
And we
yeah.
have to say, no, we're looking at the birds migration. It happens.
There's a
lot.
vulture, look. The tourist comes and they're oblivious to anything.
Fascinated.
All they want is to take
Yeah.
a photograph of Musa Isaban.
Well, I tell
And
them
then
about the
in between,
migration.
I have black
My
kites,
tours.
I
We
have
are.
honey buzzards flying around, and they're completely oblivious. to
I,
the
men-
birds.
I
to it.
mention it. I mean, I'm not an expert, but I mention the birds coming.
Look up.
Yeah, I do.
It's Gibraltar at the end of the day is a hotspot for birds to migrate. That's it.
Sí.
We do have our local birds that breed in Gibraltar. I think there must be between 25 and 30. It depends on the year. You know, what we have, or the quality we have in Gibraltar, is that these birds, depending on the winds, will pass through, and we'll see many of these birds every year,
that
and
in
some
mind.
rarities again.
Yeah.
With that in mind, it might make, I don't know if you've got a relative's or a friend's birthday coming up and out of ideas, maybe just a pair of binoculars could spark a real interest in something like this.
Remember that these things as well will bring you to do other things, like butterflies, like flora, fauna. You know, so you start getting, there's like apps.
nature more.
There's apps. There's
Yeah,
one
I was
called,
At the
amazed.
house,
there's one called
even if it is a Shungo Levante winter's day.
The Shazam app.
Bueno, estos son, pero estos son
el primo de-
specific. Estos son
Gracioso,
specific para la naturaleza.
a mí.
Can't
No,
believe it.
these are some that you'll take a picture of a flower. It's called iNaturalist, and it will tell you more or less what you're looking at.
Right.
And so you learn as you go along.
Claro.
Especially around spring. You're birding up the rock and suddenly, esta flor, ¿cuál es?
But the one that you were
Figura,
telling us before.
About the song
about
of the
the
bird.
song.
Yes,
There's an app.
the Merlin app. The Merlin app, you will
Fascinó.
just...
Curioso.
it's called the Merlin app, and you just put it outside your balcony while the birds are singing, and it will tell you quite
bird is-
accurately. It depends, but
Bien, ¿no?
the greater majority have been quite accurate with my phone, and it will tell you what birds are singing out.
Está curioso, ¿eh? The
Amazing.
Shazam for
Increíble.
birds.
Shazam for
Shazam.
birds.
Hay un poquito de todo para todo.
Qué gracia.
Robert, it's been an absolute pleasure. Thank you,
Thank
my
you for
friend.
having me.
Thank you, Robert.
Thank you very much.
We can
Amazing.
carry on with another
Loved it.
half hour. Just to finish off on a message in from Mariam. Thanks for getting in touch, Mariam. Just on what we were talking about in earlier on in the show about Eric having resigned from the Disability Council. Says hats off to Mr. Robertum, all his life advocating for the rights of people with disabilities, and it's about time the Disability Act is legislated in full. My opinion, ridículo que the council members don't believe in legislation.
Ridículo.
Hay que avanzar, people, que estamos in 2026. We should all be entitled to live with dignity and respect.
Well said.
So, seems like a good place to finish. Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank
That's all we've
you.
got time for tonight. Hope you enjoyed the show. Next week's episode, last of the season. Our special guest, the mayor, Nikki Guerrero. Catch you then. Good
Anda.
night.